YouTube. This is going to be a video on, well, nothing really, just privilege, the concept of privilege, white privilege, male privilege, and, just saying what I've been up to and how ridiculous you people are, how easily you fall for anything that the fucking government and people tell you, how you can be controlled, manipulated very easily, and again on what I've been doing, how social media is going for me, and just that kind of thing. First off, I would like to say that I've not been on the internet much as of late. I've been doing a little bit of blogging here and there. I've done a little bit recently today, not much. I'm not bothering with Twitter anymore. I'm not sure if I could get a site back up, a page back up on Twitter or not, but regardless of whether or not I could, I'd much rather not worry with that right now. I've not been using the internet much. I've been off Twitter for, I've not made a video in a while, in part because I was hungover for a little while. I had a serious hangover. I had started binge drinking. I was already drinking. I have drinking problems anyways. I got fucked over on Twitter by those trolls. Again, the very competent, unbiased, fucking good people at Twitter didn't all take the side of the other group because they had political favorites of them, or because of call it politics. No, I wasn't politically persecuted anyway. No. It was all my fucking fault. No, it wasn't him who, first of all, started commenting to me. Second of all, started replying to me after I had not talked to him for over 2 hours. 3, insulted me, condescended me, kept saying the same damn thing over and over again, and so on and so on and so forth, and then reported me when I never did him. No, that didn't happen. It's me. Again, back to the point. Fuck him. What I'm talking about now is privilege. One of the things I was talking to him about. First of all, I object to the point. First of all, let me say this: I object to the fact that I have the privilege, as I think I've said in the mental breakdown video, pretty much. But second of all, I object to the fact that I have privilege. I don't think I do, for various reasons I'm not even going to go into detail about. Second of all, even if I did, how in the hell do you measure that? And third of all, I didn't ask for fucking privilege. And fourth of all, even if I had fucking privilege, as long as I'm not fucking anyone else over, okay, I'm not intentionally doing something to you, what the hell does it even matter if I did? But here, and that leads into the next fucking thing. Okay, but first let me say this. If someone has privilege, whether it be inherited, earned, individually, rich people, again, because class is privilege. If you have a lot of money, you have privilege, do you not? Do people who have money not get away with a lot of crime? Is Harvey Weinstein not still waiting to be tried for fucking crimes he committed that we know he did, that he was reported doing, when a poor man would have been put in jail many, many months ago, if not years? But that's not the point. Whether it's earned, inherited, or it's a group privilege, why in the hell would you even want to get privilege? As long as it's not directly conflicting with someone else's rights, and that is the problem here. When you're talking about some groups, you are conflicting with the rights. Now, I don't fucking believe, first of all, that males have privilege, primarily. I don't completely believe in white privilege. I think that there's a lot of issues with that, and I'm going to go into that, but I don't believe in male privilege at all. I think that you're talking about things that are either 1, illegal, 2, at least socially unacceptable, 3, not done in a large enough scale for it to be a commonality. And in many cases, you're talking about 1, and in 4, you're talking about 1, 2, or all 3 of those other of that, So I don't believe in that. You can point to anything. One man get away with this, or that man got away with that. You can point to anyone getting away with anything. You can point to any man doing anything obnoxious. You can point to any man who has more money than anyone, or any woman that has more money than anyone. You're not dealing with a collective culture. Okay, you're pushing a narrative. I can fucking just as easily do that, and I'm not going to go into detail about that because I don't have enough time in a video or the day to. I'm not going 12 hours into a video like I did arguing with these idiots. It's not happening. And again, I really didn't even want to make a video. I wanted to put something out there. I wanted to get a video out there, and this is my way of doing that, and I wanted to talk about it. But here's the thing about other forms of privilege that I do have a little bit more belief in. For example, white privilege. I think there is some truth to that. I think there is some truth to first world privilege that we're all guilty of. I think that you can find commonalities there between reality, what I believe, and what social justice people say, when they're not taking things out of context, nitpicking issues, self-projecting things, telling mistruths, half-truths, lying, and pushing narratives. And that's the main thing they do, is push a narrative to suit an agenda that is often, they often have double motives, and it's not even what they say it is. But back to the point. When you call it privilege from the beginning, you're dealing with wording, and it also, and I'm going to get into this, it affects the way you think, because language affects the mind, and that affects the culture, and the culture affects the laws, and everything affects everything else. But when they say privilege, what is the privilege that white people have that they're saying? And again, having privilege, I don't think is 100% necessarily bad, but I'm not even talking about that. What is the privilege that white people have? You don't get profiled, harassed, shot at by cops. Now again, you're judging people you don't fucking know, first of all. You're arbitrarily judging them based on something as shallow as fucking skin color. You don't fucking know the person. I'm sure some people have. They are regularly get shot at cops. There are cops who are sociopaths who will beat up anyone. It's not all racism. It's not all a racial issue. There's lots of issues with this. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm not going into detail about that. Let's just say that was true, and I do think it is, by and large, true, that more often than not, in part for class issues, but maybe racial as well, blacks are more likely to be attacked, shot at, beat up by cops. I agree with that. I'm not disagreeing with you. And that's wrong, and that is wrong, and I don't fucking support that. But again, why is it a privilege for white people not to be? Therein lies the question. How is that a fucking logical point to make? You shouldn't be calling that a privilege. It's not a privilege that white people aren't getting shot at for no reason, or because they're not following the complete protocol as they're supposed to, or doing exactly as they're supposed to. That's not a privilege for white men or white people. Just like but it is an abomination, or rather a violation of the rights of the black person being shot at for no reason. And that's the way you should frame the conversation, not say it's a fucking privilege. So it's not a privilege that white people have, they just have a right that the fucking black people need to have. And it's ridiculous that anyone, and again, that goes back to privilege. If it's directly affecting someone else, then yeah, that's wrong, and it should be, and that privilege should be abolished. And that is something that no one should have to go through with on a day-to-day basis, is being shot at, okay? And that is, my primary point here is that, again, it's the use of language. It's an idiotic language. That is a right. You can call it a privilege if you want. That's a right. And again, what are white people supposed to do about that? Run up to the cops and do everything possible to get shot at? The problem is the black person's being shot at. Screaming white privilege at white people, white men, who do not know cops, such as myself, who is not a cop, don't know any cops, don't want to be a cop, don't want to know any cops, have nothing to do with police, don't make the laws, don't fucking judge. I'm not a judge, I don't know judges, I'm not in a jury, I've never even done jury service, probably will have to go through that abomination one day, but not yet. Have nothing to do with that. How in the hell is it my fucking fault that some black guy got shot? And how does fucking screaming white privilege at me like a 5-year-old help anyone? And again, that goes back, yeah, that doesn't go back, but I can talk about a million one things you can say, not so much about white people, but definitely men. This is bad, this is bad, this is bad. And all they're doing is knock that down. Well, you know what? Every goddamn time they make a point, we're talking social justice warriors here, knock their bullshit down. This fucking that's not true. Because that's what they do. They're the most. I'm getting off track. Fuck them. They're not kidding me. The point I'm making is, the issue is privilege. That's the issue.